How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Sick Eric Tech, and today we are going to be doing a comparison between the LG V60 and the OnePlus 10 Pro. We're going to be comparing the specs to each other, letting you guys determine which one you think is better, the old versus the new. So stick around, guys. Subscribe. Be sure you click that bell icon, that way you get notified of future videos just like the one you're about to watch today. So let's go ahead and jump down into it. OnePlus 10 Pro versus LG V60 spec comparison. All right, so both fantastic devices. Of course, the LG being a fan favorite of over a two-year-old phone, and then the OnePlus 10 Pro just came out not too long ago. We're going to be going over the specs and letting you guys determine which one you might want to pick up. And starting on over with the LG and the dimensions. So this is a pretty big device, coming in about 6.67 inches tall, 3.06 wide, and 0.35 thin. So it's a very, very big, bulky phone. Very nice feeling in the hand. Comes in about 7.51 ounces, covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 5. On the front, the back glass is going to be Gorilla Glass 6 with your aluminum frame. So very nicely built, very durable, IP68 water and dust resistance. And it has the MIL STD-810G compliant military drop resistance on there. So very, very nice on the build quality of the LG V60. I really do like the build quality of this. The design might be a little bit outdated for some people, but still a fantastic device. It's held up pretty well with some scratches here and there, but it's still a very nice and premium feeling device. Going on over to the OnePlus 10 Pro, comes in about 6.42 inches tall, 2.91 wide, and 0.34 thin. So it is a little bit of a smaller, narrow, thinner device with those curved edges. LG, of course, having that flat display. And the OnePlus weighs in at about 7.9 ounces, so a little bit of a lighter device over here on the OnePlus 10 Pro. Covered in Corning Gorilla Glass Victus on the front with Gorilla Glass 5 on the back. And of course, you do get that matte finish on the back as far as colors go. So a little bit less fingerprints on the OnePlus than the LG V60. IP68 dust and water resistance. If you're on T-Mobile, it is certified, but if you're not on T-Mobile, you do not have that certification, but it is pretty much the same build, and it's going to have all the seals and everything, so you will be okay. So going on over to the displays on the LG, you get a 6.8 inch PLED display. It does support HDR10+, 1080 by 2460 with 395 pixels per inch. You do get an always-on display that is highly customizable, and you can have a whole bunch of toggles on here as far as your media control is concerned and everything, and your toggles for Wi-Fi and notifications on there. You do get an optical fingerprint sensor on the LG, and it's pretty quick. It's gotten pretty quick over the years, pretty reliable, no face detection over here. Going on over to the OnePlus, you get a 6.7 inch LTPO2 fluid AMOLED display, and it's HDR10+, and it does get way brighter than the LG, coming in at 1300 nits, while the LG is not as bright with the brightness right there. You do get that 1 billion colors on the OnePlus 1440 by 3216, and you get 525 pixels per inch. You do get an always-on display on the OnePlus with your optical fingerprint sensor, which might be a little bit faster than LG's. And the advantage the OnePlus does have, it is a 120 Hz refresh rate, while the LG is only at 60 Hz. Going on over to the operating systems. So both of these are running Android 12 currently. The LG just got updated to Android 12 OnePlus is running Android 12, Oxygen OS 12.1. And so very fantastic news. Both of them are really fast and blazing. Then the LG comes in with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage. UFS 2.1 storage, that is. You do get a micro SD card on the LG, so fantastic. You are able to expand the storage on the LG. While on the OnePlus, this is the 8 gigabyte 128 storage, UFS 3.1 on here. No micro SD card support, so that is definitely a bummer on the OnePlus. But you are able to expand storage on the LG, so that is another fan favorite right there. Going on over to the GPU, the LG has the Adreno 650 GPU, while the OnePlus has the Adreno 730 GPU. So you're going to get a little bit more better gaming on the OnePlus. But as far as heating goes, the OnePlus is probably going to heat up a little bit more than the LG. The LG is definitely way capable of playing video games. Technically, these both still have 8 gigabytes of RAM right here. You do have the RAM Plus option to expand your RAM on the OnePlus, so it will take RAM from your storage and use it as virtual RAM on your OnePlus. The LG V60 does not have any settings like that. Going on over to the cameras, the LG V60, a little bit more of a simpler camera system. You do get only pretty much 2 cameras on the rear. You get a 64 megapixel main sensor, aperture of f1.8. You do have the dual pixel PDAF, optical image stabilization, and everything. You get a 13 megapixel ultra wide sensor with an aperture of f1.9, and then you also get a 0.3 megapixel time of flight sensor, which is your 3D sensing on here for portrait shots and stuff like that, focusing. Aperture of f1.4. Front facing camera is going to be a 10 megapixel camera, aperture of f1.9. You can record all the way up to 8K on the rear. Of course, your 4K, 60, 30, 1080p. Front facing camera, you can record all the way up to 4K, 30 frames per second. So that's fantastic news on the LG. Going on over to the OnePlus's camera. The rear facing cameras are going to be a 48 megapixel main sensor with an aperture of f1.8. You get the multi-directional PDAF as well. Laser autofocus, optical image stabilization, the whole shebang. 8 megapixel telephoto lens, aperture of f2.4 with 3.3 times optical zoom. You get a 50 megapixel ultra wide, aperture of f2.2. And the advantage this ultra wide has over the OnePlus is the field of view. It can go all the way up to 150 degrees, while the LG is about 120. Hasselblad's color calibration on the OnePlus, you're going to get really punchy colors. The front facing camera is a 32 megapixel camera, aperture of f2.2. You can record all the way up to 8K 24 frames per second on the OnePlus. Of course, your 4K and your 1080p. Front facing camera is capped out at 1080p 30 frames per second, so that is definitely a huge bummer compared to the LG, which can record 4K on that front facing camera. So as far as pictures go, they're both fantastic. The LG is going to take a little bit more natural shots than the OnePlus. You're going to get a little bit more color saturation on the OnePlus than you are on the LG. But as far as detail goes, they're both fantastic. Of course, a little bit more zoom capabilities on the OnePlus with that dedicated telephoto lens, while the LG only has the ultra wide and the main. But you do get some great shots as far as portrait shots on the LG. People prefer LG more than any other device, honestly, just because they're more natural. But to each his own as far as colors go, and you know, the pictures on both of them. A lot of people like saturation, a lot of people like natural colors. As far as the stereo speakers, both of these do have stereo speakers. You get Dolby Atmos on the OnePlus 10 Pro, but you can't use Dolby Atmos when you're listening to the music using these speakers. You can only listen to it when you're plugged in or have Bluetooth connected. So that is definitely a bummer. Going on over to the LG, you do get your LG 3D sound engine with that headphone jack. So you're going to have that quad DAC support on here as well. So you get a little bit more audio features on the LG. It is built towards listening to music and audio on here, especially if you connect a nice pair of headphones here with that quad DAC and that 3D surround sound. You're going to get very good audio on the LG compared to the OnePlus. Considering that you can't use Dolby Atmos on here. But as far as both of them goes, Bluetooth goes, they both sound really good. So let's go ahead and check out the differences between these speakers, shall we? All right, so what did you guys think of the speaker quality on both of these? Which one sounded better to you? So as far as Bluetooth goes, you get Bluetooth 5.1 on the LG, Bluetooth 5.2 on the OnePlus. Both of them support Wi-Fi 6 and NFC, of course. USB Type 3.1 over here on the OnePlus. Battery, you do get 5,000 milliamp hour battery on both of these. The kicker is that on the OnePlus, you get 65 watt wired charging on the OnePlus, while the LG just supports 25 watts, I believe. On the LG, they do both offer wireless charging. Of course, you're going to get faster wireless charging if you buy the wireless charger from OnePlus. You get 50 watt wireless charging on the OnePlus, while on the LG is going to be your regular, I think it's 15 watt wireless charging. Both of them can reverse wireless charge, so if you want to put some buds or a watch on the back or another device, you can charge wirelessly through the reverse wireless charging. Both of them, battery life on both of these have been really fantastic. I haven't noticed any much of a difference battery life on the LG since it's been updated to Android 12. The OnePlus battery life could be a little bit better. It's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, but it tends to run down pretty quick. I noticed after an 8-hour night at work, I'm stuck at about 40%, and that's only by streaming music, playing music, not really doing much on there, while the LG, after 8-hour day at work, still about 50% battery life left. So pretty good battery life on the LG. It's going to be a little bit more efficient with that 60 hertz refresh rate, so it's not sucking up a lot of power over the OnePlus, but the LG definitely wins as far as battery life goes. It's a lot better than a lot of other devices that I got right now, just because it's a little bit more power efficient. The LG is going to be a lot better than the OnePlus, just because you don't have that high refresh rate, 60 hertz. The Snapdragon 865 on the OnePlus is a lot more efficient than the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1 on the OnePlus, just because the 888 and the Generation 8 Gen 1, they're very power hungry and they create a lot of heat. So the OnePlus is going to heat up a lot more quicker than the LG, especially if you're out taking video, out in the sun, or it's a hot day. You're not going to get very far with the OnePlus. It's going to stop recording video way sooner than the LG. The LG could truck through it and still record video. It's just the OnePlus definitely not good with taking long video outside. It's going to stop recording after several minutes just because it gets too hot, while the LG manages to keep cool with that 865 processor. They're very fantastic. They're both very fantastic as far as performance goes. No issues whatsoever. They're both fast and capable phones. If you want to play video games, they're going to handle it just fine. And the advantages the LG has is the headphone jack, quad DAC, micro SD card support, better battery life. The OnePlus a little bit better as far as the cameras go. A little bit more of a better build quality, or about the same build quality. It looks a lot nicer than the LG's dated look, but still both fantastic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this comparison between the OnePlus 10 Pro and the LG V60, giving you guys the specs. That way you guys can determine which one you might want to check out for your next device. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.